Let's say you're a t-shirt company and you made $100,000 last year. Well, you had to buy t-shirts, you had to advertise, you had to hire people to help you had to buy materials, and it ended up costing you $80,000 to make $100,000. That's a 20% profit margin. That's pretty good. The problem is the government thinks that you made $100,000. Well, you don't want to get taxed on that full $100,000, so what do? You have to tell the government that you spent that $80,000 on your business to make money. And you have to show them that you only had 20 grand left over, and that's what they need to tax you on, your profit, not the total amount of money that your business made. This is how write-offs work. In this video, I'm going to teach you a little bit more about write-offs so that you can have a good understanding so you can pay less in taxes. So let's get started. This is section 162 of the Internal Revenue Code. These are the rules that talk about what you can and can't do with your taxes. There's one important section in here that I really want to focus on, and it's this one right here. Section 162A allows a deduction for all the ordinary and necessary expenses in your business. Crazy, right? One sentence covers all the write-offs. Basically, if you have to spend money to make money, it can be considered a write-off, as long as it's for your business. However, there's no deduction allowed for personal, living, or family expenses. And we're going to cover that here in just a sec. But what's important for you to understand is that, oh my gosh, it's this simple. If you got to spend money to make money, make sure you record it and tell the government about it so you don't have to pay taxes on it. So now that we understand what a write-off is, let's talk about how to practically implement all this in your business, because it can still be a little bit confusing. Here's how I like to do it. The best way to do it is to separate your bank accounts. Have a business bank account and have a personal bank account. All of the money that you make from your business goes into your business bank account. And when you have to spend money on your business, it comes out of your business bank account as well. But when you want to spend money on personal items like toothbrushes and clothing or maybe some shoes, you want to transfer money from your business account to your personal bank account, and then you want to spend it. We don't ever want to buy personal items with our business account, and we don't ever want to buy business items with our personal account. We want to keep things separate.
You gotta keep them separated.
And that right there is the one thing that legitimizes your business more than anything else. It's called keeping and maintaining the corporate veil. Commingling is when you mix the two together. And when you commingle assets, the IRS and judges are like, nah, dude, it's not a real business. This is just a guy selling stuff. So if you want to be legit, separate your bank accounts. The reason separating your bank accounts is so powerful is that now you know that all the money that came into your business account and all the money that went out of your business account should technically be a write-off, and it will be much easier to do your accounting. But Evan, how do you write it off? Like, what do you do? It's a really good question. And it all starts with the way that you keep track of your money or your accounting. Some people use QuickBooks. Some people use Excel spreadsheets. Some people use FreshBooks, or some people use Bench. It doesn't matter the system that you use. What's important is that you record what comes in and what goes out in your account every month. That way, at the end of the year, you can tell the IRS that you didn't make $200,000 in pure profit. You only made 50 grand because you had to spend 150,000 to make that 200,000. And that's what you want to do. You want to tell the IRS how much money you owe them, not the other way around. And the only way that we can tell the IRS how much money we owe them is if we keep good track of it. And if our personal bank account is combined with our business bank account, how do you know what was actually spent on personal items and what was spent on business items? Exactly. Opening up a second bank account is free. There really isn't an excuse as to why you wouldn't do it aside from not knowing. And now that you know, it's time. Now, if you don't have a second bank account set up, it's really easy to get. Just go get an EIN and then go to a local credit union or mercury.com and open up a separate bank account. You're done. It should be entirely free. Okay, let's talk about the second part of write-offs, because we have to keep documentation, right? We have to, because just telling the IRS what we spent money on is not good enough. It's good enough for your taxes, trust me. But if you ever get audited, or if the IRS ever questions you, or if you ever have to go to court, or if you get sued, or if you sell the business, or if you bring in strategic partners, They're going to want to see your expenses. And we need to keep an accurate record of what we're actually spending the money on, not just the amounts and who it went to. We need to have itemized receipts. An itemized receipt shows what each dollar went towards. Like, for example, when you go to the grocery store and you get that big long receipt and it shows every item on there, that's an itemized receipt. And we want to keep those for our business. So anytime you pay somebody with your business account, take that receipt, snap a picture of it, and throw it in the cloud. Put it in a Google Drive folder or something, or a Dropbox. Please don't keep paper receipts in a shoebox. It can be a nightmare to deal with. When you get the receipt, snap a picture, upload it, you're done. Those receipts are your backup. That's your proof, so that if anybody ever questions your taxes, you can say, you
didn't say the magic word.
Look, I have proof. I did everything just the way I was supposed to because I followed Section 162 and all of this money was spent in order to make money. If you understand these rules about write-offs, if you fundamentally understand this concept, then business will be 1,000 times easier. But it all starts with understanding in the very beginning. Now, there are some people who are like, Evan, I know people that write off everything. I know people that write off their whole lives. Is that possible? Honestly, yes, it is possible. But only if you're doing business for 24/7. If you're one of those people that's a workaholic, like let's say you're a consultant and you're just always on the go, you're always traveling, you're always working, you're always living in hotels and going back and forth and doing, sure, you could literally write off every expense that you have. But you would have to be following the rules. You would have to be spending that money for business purposes to make more money. There eventually is going to come a point where you're not going to be doing business activity and you have to spend money, whether it's buying a house or getting a personal vehicle or, just little things. And that's why this system works so well of keeping things separate. We don't want to mix. So while it is possible to write off everything in your life, but do you really want to be working your whole life? On the other side of the spectrum, there are the people who don't write off anything. They just pay their taxes based on how much money they made. And that is a terrible mistake to make. It's absolutely terrible. The government depends on you to tell them how much you owe them in taxes, not the other way around. So they're happy to get more money from you. But if you don't want to pay them as much, you have to get organized and you have to figure out how much you actually earned in order to tell them how much you paid them. And it all comes back to the fundamentals, which is keeping your two bank accounts separate, understanding how write-offs work, and staying organized and keeping good records. If you like the way that I teach and you want to learn more from me, you should check out my business school. It's super valuable and will be a huge help. Right now we have a promo code, New Habits. It will get you $500 off. Otherwise, keep educating, be good to future you.